Yeah, this your boy Quana Don, man. I'm back for another exclusive interview, man. And y'all see who we got on the screen. You dig? I'm gonna get him the flow right now. Let him introduce himself.
Good evening, everyone. It's Mr. Andreas Coleman. A little bit about myself. I wear many hats. President of Danville Seahawks. I'm also the CEO of Hustle Hoops. Assistant men's basketball coach at Danville Area Community College. Um, Full-time supervisor at Gatorade, and also do some work here and there with Dream. I'm over in Champaign, Illinois. I'm kind of behind the scenes, like a sports coordinator slash athletic director a little bit. And I also sub from time to time and just volunteer my time in the community, working with other partners, with just some mentorship, trying to keep young boys and young girls off the streets doing positive things with their life.
And all of that is amazing. So you born and raised here in Danville, as some may or may not know. Can you kind of speak about what the path was in high school? We see the poster behind you. But kind of like, was it a dream of yours or goal of yours to play college ball in high school when you first started?
Yeah, growing up, basketball was the only sport that I actually played. My younger brothers and older brothers played football and basketball, but I just played basketball. I gravitated towards them. I always went to the park to get to see some of the local legends, Keon Clark, Snoop, Handbone, just a bunch of guys. Stanley Gerard, Lamar Hillsman, DeJuan Gerard growing up.
All
out to the
killers.
park, being out there, kind of seeing it up front, close and personal. That's some of the best basketball that I've ever seen in my life. So it just, as a kid, I grew up tall and I always wanted to, follow the avenue. So I just, chose it. My dad always worked with me. And as a younger kid, I was a little chunky, fat kid. So it's always a step or two behind. But eventually, I picked it up, started to love it. Middle school, like I said, just played it. High school, that's when I started to take it a little more serious. Started working out, losing weight. Got to about 6'3" and a half, 6'4", and just kept working at it, work on my craft to get bigger, stronger, faster, and go to school, get a degree, and come back and just do what I can with it.
What was your recruiting process like?
So out of high school, kind of a different path, but out of high school. I didn't have a bunch of Division I or Division II schools that were interested. Just a couple junior colleges. Actually, George Gerard, who graduated in 2005, was a close buddy of mine, and me and Rod Sykes, we graduated in 2006. So George was at Illinois Valley Community College already there, and he kind of recruited myself and Rod to go down there. So we actually committed to go down there and everything. That's where I was going after high school. But the coach from down there sent us to an exposure camp. It was the weekend of, I want to say, it was a Nike tournament.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it was EYBL or if it was Adidas tournament in Indianapolis, Indiana. But me, Rod, and George went over there and played. It was for unsigned seniors. Junior college players, just to kind of get exposure because there's a bunch of college coaches there. So I went with George. We was on the same team, and we did what we normally do, man. We went out there, we played extremely hard. I rebounded hard, ran the court hard, came down, set my picks for George. He was getting to the rim, getting to the cup, easy layups. He would kick back out to me, shoot a couple threes here and there, knocking it down, communicating, being vocal. Running hard to the post, catching the ball hard over the left shoulder, hook shot. We didn't win every game, but we played hard and just had fun. And after that, I had three or four junior colleges that were interested, and I had 3 Division I schools that were interested. 2 of them offered. So I chose the route. Went down to Morehead State. Went down there on a visit. It's kind of 4.5, 5 hours away from here. They offered, and I went.
Was you scared?
Uh, was I scared? No.
I mean,
I,
cause I'm just, I mean, I didn't go so far because I was a little nervous. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, if I go like 7 hours, 8 hours away from the crib, I'm not gonna be able to go home like that too often. So that's really what helped me narrow it down for mine. And I was just like, I'm 30 minutes from the crib. I know people in Danville. That was a no-brainer for me once they offered me. But I was gonna go to Shawnee, and that's not too far off either. But I was just like, I wanted to stay close to home because I was just like, I didn't want to go too far to where I couldn't go back home. You know what I
right.
mean? So I mean, in the sense of that, like, was it, or you just was ready to go?
You know what? Honestly, I really give thanks to God and to my parents because, like, growing up, like, they really gave me everything that I needed to kind of be successful in life.
Hmm.
And you really don't understand that until you get older. It's not so much finances, but it's the knowledge
Hmm.
of the world and the things that you need to survive to be successful. So growing up, seeing all that, I always got disciplined for things that my brothers sometimes didn't get disciplined for, and it kind of made me upset. But as you get older, you get into the world, you are thankful and grateful for those blessings.
Indeed.
So when I went away, like I said, my parents, we went down there. I actually went with my cousin on a visit, Patrick Guest. So we went down there. Like I said, it was 4.5, 5 hours away. We went down there. Coach Tender was cool. The guys down there was cool, and I played well. So I just felt like it was the best fit for me.
Right.
So that's where I went. I could always make a phone call, and just being honest, whatever I need, like what I'm saying, OG man, whatever, boom. I needed this, I needed that. Making a phone call. I had buddies down there. They was into Jordans like I was into Jordans. It wasn't even hard to make a phone call. But my mom was going to the store, man, getting 4 or 5 pair of Jordans, sending them down there. I sent her the money or whatever. Like, so it was a good fit. Like, and I feel like I needed something that was close, but not too close. I didn't want to be
Hmm.
running back and forth from college to home every weekend. So it had to be scheduled. It had to be planned, being 5 hours away.
Yeah. Well, if I would have known what a real college schedule was like, I probably would have not gonna say reconsider, but I probably would have thought about it differently. I thought I could, but once you on that college schedule, ain't no leaving. It's not no leaving, bro. So you only get those few days to go back and actually visit family. So I remember for
Absolutely.
like Thanksgiving, we only got 3 days off and had to turn around and come right back, and I was blue about it. It wasn't even three. I think it was like two,
Yeah.
and I was just like, man, it's gonna take me. I'm glad it only take me 2 hours before a lot of the other kids, like, they didn't have that option to go back and come back because it wasn't even enough time. So I was just, thinking about those different things and the experiences that I had. I was just looking at it like, looking back at it as a kid, man, you be so optimistic about a whole lot of stuff. Then you get there and reality hits. So you
Mm-hmm.
saying that being prepared for, like, you know what I'm saying, how it's going to actually be hits different too. Um, in the midst of that, you could have stayed gone, but you came back home, and from there, you got right into work. Um, what was the thought process when it came to that?
Um,
Because most people say that they would want to leave Danville,
right.
especially this your hometown. When most people make it out, they leave.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we had that same problem in Chicago. They say that a lot of times too. When our people make it, they leave. They don't ever stay home and do things with the community. But it's kind of like you left. You had an opportunity to go somewhere else and do something different, but also decided to come back home and bring some of what you learned back to your hometown. And
Mm-hmm.
kind of, where did that factor in and come from?
Well, I feel like growing up, like I said, I've always had both my parents around me. And I could just remember different events, different tournaments, like playing in the Gus Macker when I was younger. Played with, it was me, Tremaine Porter, Jonathan Reed, and I want to say James Pickett.
Mm.
Playing in the Gus Macker, and my parents always being there. Kind of growing up, don't mean this disrespectfully, but my dad was just like our house was always the neighborhood house, man. I remember John Irvin, like when we first moved out to North End, he was always over to our house, and my dad was just always there for like young people, especially young boys in our neighborhood. That sometimes they had the father around, sometimes they didn't, and my mother always as well just allowed my dad to do that for youth. So growing up, like I seen that, and when I went to school, I had that same nurture from my friends, brotherhood, being in college, and I had an opportunity to come back during college to do an internship, and it was actually with the Laura Lee Fellowship House.
Okay.
So I did an internship there where I kind of did some of the same things that I'm doing now. I was like the sports coordinator a summer for their summer camp. So I designed all the different like physical activities week to week for Laura Lee summer camp, and from there I went back to school, and it's just something I've just always been passionate about. So went to school. Long story short, graduated. I did a job in marketing with AT&T in Columbus once I graduated from school. Went down there for about a year and a half, going on almost 2 years, and with my girlfriend at the time, and she was pregnant, ended up getting pregnant, so we just decided to come back. She had a job down there. It was, a decent job in the public school in Columbus, and remember growing up, man, I say, just always being a good kid in school, being positive, full of energy, working with the students, working with my peers, the staff, and I can remember Mr. Demon telling me if I ever needed anything, that he would be there for me, and I could always reach out. So we was thinking about transitioning, so I'm like, we can always go back to Danville. We want to leave here. And made a phone call to Mr. Demon, told him our situation, told him, my girlfriend, she's, a great woman, teacher, doing great things here. And he told us, you guys can come down, I'll get her a job. Came down, got her a job. So for a couple of years, I was just subbing, volunteering, doing some different things, and then I eventually landed a role at the Y as their program director for the adult sports and youth sports. From there, just kind of blossomed and transition. I ran programs there for some years, and then.
Do you think it was more goal oriented or kind of just? What I'm trying to ask is, did the path that you went on, was it a goal that you already had, or is it kind of just where it took you as you started to grow in what you was doing?
I wouldn't say it was a goal. I would just say life has its crazy way of revolving and putting you in a situation or in a place where you need to be.
Facts.
So I came back because it's like now I don't have to be here.
These are facts.
For the last 7 years, I've had primary jobs where my finances to take care of me and my daughter were from Champaign, and currently my finances to take care of me and my daughter are in Indianapolis. So like I choose to be here because I want to be here, and I love my city.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just my heart. Like I want to see as many kids as possible be successful, be respectful, and get out of here. Like I look at Danville or any community as a box. It's 4 walls to a box, and once you get outside that box, you can achieve and you can see so much more. So the people that leave here and go here and do great things, I love them. The people that leave here, go do great things, come back here, I love them too. And like whether they realize it or not, like we all, in a sense, are leaders for this box. So the more positive people doing positive things, like regardless if we realize it or not, the youth, they see it.
Yeah, these are all facts. These are definitely facts. Speaking of that, before I get into hustle hoops and talks of that, you spoke on something earlier that I want to bring back up. How when you were younger, you used to go out in the summertime to the parks, and we would see those killers out there really playing real ball. We don't have that anymore right now. Do you feel like that It's what's missing because I'm hearing a lot of people speak about these things in AAU how it's terrible and this and that, and then I'm sitting back thinking to myself like I really didn't even play AAU ball. I played summer ball. Then you saying it, even when I talked to Coach Gerard, he was saying the same. I'm like, we played summer ball.
Mm-hmm.
We did. Why aren't these kids playing basketball at the park no more?
Yep. Let's see. Honestly, I never played AAU basketball either. I mean, literally, not one game. So, kids I understand it all. Like, training is good. I'm not gonna say kids don't need to train because you do, but I also feel like you should play more than you train. You know,
Yeah.
you need the games against the old heads at the park or the old heads at the Y because it's some things, with me being 37, just for instance, it's some things that I've learned that I could go tell Amir Beasley or Lil Dre Burns, DeAndre, that can, help them just because I've been not saying that I'm better than them at their age because by God, I'm not. They are going to go on to be great athletes and great players as long as they stick with it. And not just them two, it's plenty of other kids, but us as adults that's been there, that's played longer, that's more experienced, like it's tools and resources that we can give to them to help them be successful to make them better players than they are. And sometimes it's not even on the court. Sometimes it's just the mental aspect of us being in certain scenarios that can help them.
No, that's a fact. So is that kind of like where the initiative for Hustle Hoops kind of came from?
I'll be honest with you. Hustle Hoops came from, it came from the community because I'll be honest, I got let go from the Y during COVID. So it's like 19,000 employees nationally from the YMC that got let go. So you got to be 6 feet apart. So pretty much 75-80% of the programs that I was running, football, basketball, primary sports, we couldn't run them. So there was no need to have me at the Y. So even with that, man, I had so many inboxes from families that found out what was going on and didn't like it because, I took a program that had like 20 kids in it. And I'm talking from 3 different programs combined. Tiny Types Kindercare and the YMCA League, it had like 20 kids combined and got it to like 200 kids over a span of like 3.5 years.
Man, that's amazing in itself.
So once they let me go, I just had a bunch of parents, man. I'll be honest with you. White parents, black parents, parents from St. Joe, Danville, Covington. Like, they found out what was going on and they was reaching out to me, inboxing me, telling me, like, you should just, we love what you do. We love your energy. We love your passion for the youth, for the community. Like, you're great at what you do. Don't just give up because you lost your job. Like, you should continue what you do. Like, you can go find a church, rent a church, lease a church, get some insurance, come up with your own name for a basketball program and start your own league. Like, we're going to follow you, So I thought about it. I thought about leaving. And then, man, I had a click. I was like, you know what? They want me here, so this is what I'm going to do. So I literally came up with a name, reached out to some churches, and boom, put a name on some t-shirts, tweaked the programs a little bit to where comfortability within my own lane, and boom, YBA ball became Hustle Hoops. And 85% of the, people that was there, they continue to follow me. Things been going well. And when you do things around here that are positive, clean, organized, like that one person, they gonna go tell the next person, and then their friends gonna go get involved.
Yep.
And it just kind of
trickled down
to where it just continue to grow and grow and grow. The kids love it, the families love it. I get people to come volunteer. They understand structure, guidance, being positive with the youth. We went from t-shirts a couple years to little dry fit shirts to now, man, I feel like when the kids are out there, I want them to feel like they're playing at University of Illinois. They're playing at Duke. They're playing in the NBA. So if you look good, you feel good. So I try to get the kids, the best looking uniforms. I feel like, man, we it because I believe that dreams start with kids when they're young. Like, it ain't just about basketball or football. Like, I want them to feel good, play good, have fun, because if they can score a 3-pointer consistently, or run a touchdown, or make a good block, or things of that such. Like that translates into life.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's so many things in sports that translate into life, and I know it because I've been through it, and I just want to embrace that into the youth within our community so they can do it, so they can go and get back, and when they get older, like, man, that's what he was talking about.
Mm-hmm. These are all facts. And and to piggyback off that, um, seeing that you run multiple organizations, how do you balance doing all of the different hats that you do wear and have?
Um, Everything I do, honestly, it's a team effort. Honest to God, truth. Starting with the Seahawks, it was small at first, and I remember going to Coach Blue. I told Coach Blue because I could just like, I'm not a big me guy.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I want to influence others to help, make the community successful as well. So I remember going to Coach Blue and asking him to come on board, and I was like, man, like, you can be a leader, like, you got a lot of people that gravitate to you, they follow you, like, you can be good at this. Believe it or not, like, man, I can't be no mentor to these kids. Like, don't nobody respect me, woo this, woo that. Like, bro, yes, you can. And it's not because of me. I'm not saying that. But I spoke some positive things into him, and he listened to what I was saying, and now look at what he's doing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I literally sit back behind the scenes, and with the day-to-day, most of that stuff is Coach Blue, is Beth, it's Denver. Like, they're all involved. Like, we are all a team, making it successful, clean, organized, and even our cheerleading coaches and staff. Like, we all work together to make it work. Same thing with Hustle Hoops. Like, I have a great relationship with the church. They trust me, they respect me, and vice versa. I respect them. We keep the church clean. We keep it, organized. Ain't no chaos in there. We never needed security or anything like that.
Nope. Not at all.
It's just it's a compact space, and when you in there and the game's going on,
it
like,
get loud.
Man, this atmosphere is
it
crazy.
Get loud.
Honestly, bro, sometimes I just get chills. Like, I just sit back in the corner, like, man, like, look at this. Like, you got girls, you got boys, and they're competing.
And we be serious. I've been yelling at you from the side. I know. That's what I'm saying. I'm yelling at you from the sideline too. Like, man, call Andreas in.
For a kids basketball game. You got people going crazy. Like, it's March Madness, Duke, North Carolina.
For real, man. It's the playoffs. It's serious, man. And I think even the last one at Dak, like, amazing, bro. That was amazing. Like, and not saying it just because my team won, but the atmosphere was amazing, bro. Like, the build up to everything, even all the kids that was there that didn't make it to the championship was still there supporting the championship game. They wasn't like, cause after you lose, you go home. Mm-hmm. You don't have to stay. But the fact that everybody stayed. They wanted to watch the game. They wanted to be a part of what was going on. It was an amazing game, back and forth. I was nervous the whole game. I'm like, man, they big over there. I want to. So even watching my kids bring it home, like, the whole experience was amazing. And to the parents be there and everybody be there to watch that and enjoy that, that was dope. So to see the growth in it from year to year, for me, is the best thing, because it's showing that you're actually doing what you're supposed to do with what's going on. And the reason why I say it like that is because we know it's a lot of money grabs out here. It's a lot of money grabs out here. But you can tell the programs that are actually doing right with the funds that's being allocated with the program. Like you said, there's new jerseys every year. I just feel like the program is growing every year. Like, every time I come, there's something new that you're bringing to the table. And that's one thing I want to give your flowers for while we're here and commend you on. Because you are actually doing what's best for the youth, not what's best for you. You see what I'm saying? And you could, but you actually do pour back into those kids. And a lot of times people just, we see it and we don't always think about in totality what that really is and what that's doing. But like you said, you are saving lives with these things that you're doing because them kids could have been anywhere. And there's also uh, not a lot of basketball for that age group
Hmm.
around here. So for me, that was just like well, they look forward to it. You know what I mean? So like that's dope to hear the kids like, man, I can't wait to the hustle hoops because we don't have a season for them. We don't have no place that they can go. And then for even our school to be looking at that as a possibility just shows the growth in what it is that you building. You have schools that saying, hey, we willing to put a fourth and fifth grade team together to send them to this program so that they can play basketball. That's game changing. That is game changer for me. So, do you feel like it can get to that point, or that's something that you will be open to offering to the schools around here? Because a lot of them don't have fifth and sixth grade teams, or fourth, or even you know what I mean?
Right. I mean, I just feel like I said, I mean, I'm with whatever works best for the community. Like I
Fact.
said, it's not about me. I mean, if you want to sit here and talk financials, it's hustle hoops for the most part. You know, it costs $100 for a kid to participate. On average, we're having about 220, 240 kids a year. So you can think of it as 22, 23,000. That's not necessarily what it is. You know, $6,000 or $7,000 is going to uniforms. You know, got insurance, you got trophies, you got medals. So a lot of the money that's coming in is going right
Right
back
back
out to
out.
the program.
Hmm.
And then honestly, like we live in Danville. At the same time, we know everybody can't afford a registration fee. You know, but honestly, I don't want to come out of my pocket and pay for kids. You know, but with that fee, everybody coming together, then I'm able to help out families that can't afford it. You know,
Hmm.
I don't get grants or government funding to run these programs. You know, I do it out of the kindness of my heart, so I have to charge. Um, but it all works out, and people love it. They know it's worth it,
It is.
and they understand and they respect it that they can do what they can do as well as to help somebody that's in need.
Yeah.
So I'm honestly blessed, and I appreciate my community for believing, respecting, and trusting in me with their kids.
And then coaching, the aspect of coaching and mixing everything else in. I mean, if you look at it, it's kind of all under the same umbrella in a sense. So it's not too far off. But in the coaching aspect for you, what made you kind of get into that side of it?
Um, when you love something, you try like every aspect of it.
Hmm.
So coming back, working with the youth, like I've been playing the game for so long and hanging the sneakers up because at the end of the day, like regardless of what sport it is, the ball is going to stop
Stop.
bouncing one day,
Yep.
and then you have to do something else. But most athletes, they love the game, so they want to give back in some aspect. So what better way than coaching or training? So I came back to the community and running these programs, and at the time, Coach Hout had just got the job at Danville High School, and I was back in the community. He had asked me to help coach the freshman basketball team. So I was assistant on the high school team for a year on the freshman team with Coach Bases. We have a great relationship, and we had a successful, fun year teaching the kids. I remember we had Jordan, Cunningham, what was it? Byron, um, Little Tug.
Oh, y'all had all the
Yeah,
hustlers,
who else we
all the
had?
hustler group.
I want to say TC, Collier. We had all those kids as freshmen. Then that next year, Dewan had got the job out to DAC,
Hmm.
then Denver Community College, and once he got that job, he had reached out to me. It's like, man, bro, woo this, woo that, come out there. And I always had love and respect for Dewan. Like I said, watching him as a kid,
Yeah.
summer leagues, and then him. Funny story about Dewan, man. Dewan was overseas, but he was back for a little bit after one of his seasons. So Coach Olsen, shout out to Coach Olsen.
Mm-hmm.
He had DeJuan come back, and we was playing Oak Park River Forest and Pontiac.
Mm-hmm.
So DeJuan was on scout team, and he was basically one of the players on the scout team that was supposed to be this killer, this dog or whatever, like a 2'3", about 2'3" wing guard, about 6'3". So it fit DeJuan's perfect description. So man, he came back going through scout team and killing us, bro, killing us. Yeah, with DeJuan, like I said, just going out there to DAC, I just felt like I had to do that. Go be with my brother and help be an assistant out there. So doing that for 11 years, and it's been a blast, man. So being out there doing that, and then coming back with Hustle Hoops, and then Seahawks football, kind of gravitate towards the babies, the 4, the 5, the 6-year-olds, with my strategy and my critiquing of coaching. I feel like the babies are innocent in anything that they do. So as long as you have fun with them, you respect them, and you can show them that you believe in them, like you can get them to do anything. Like a lot of programs I run, just for instance, like with the Hustle Hoops, it's Tiny Tykes. Sometimes there's 35 kids out there, bro, and I'm talking ages 2 to 4 years old. And I got 30 to 35 kids out there. Got them all spaced out. They're all listening. Now, granted, some of them are doing drills better than others. Absolutely. But at the end of the day, it's all about getting their attention to their mind to listen to what I'm telling them to do. Because if I can get them to listen here, that translates into them starting to obey and listen more at home. It's helping them translate to go to school or daycare, to be obedient, to be respectful to their peers in the classroom, on the playground, where they're doing different things. So with me and coaching, I do it because I enjoy it, but like I said, it's all going back into helping the youth get outside Danville, which I consider, or any community, to be a box of 4 walls.
And that's a fact. Nothing wrong with that. What was to that story about DeJuan you was telling us about?
Oh man, the story with DeJuan. So like I said, just always growing up with him, man, younger than him, but watching him at the park in the summer leagues, being younger than most of the guys, but still just out there balling, going overseas and then coming back. And when I was at the high school, he came back and he worked with Coach Olsen for a little bit, and he came back to one of our practices around Christmas time. So he went on scout team, and he was imitating this guy that's supposed to be the man for Oak Park River Forest that we were going up to play in Pontiac. So, man, he was killing, bro. And, I'll be honest, Coach Olsen gave some simple instructions to individuals to how to guard this guy, because this is what he's going to be doing. You know what I'm saying? And we don't listen, this is what he's going to be doing. So we all know the story about Coach Olsen. He got let go for those allegations or whatever. I mean, it's literally what he did. It is what it is. Still my partner. I still love him.
I was just gonna say, man, that's I'll get it, and
emotional damage.
I've not to give it a pass, because I understand it with the climate and how everything is going now. But also, like, I've seen coaches do way a lot worse.
I'll tell you this, and everybody different. I ain't judging. I ain't blaming nobody. I'll be real with you. If it would have been me, I would have dogged up and I would have listened to what he was saying. I would have been on DeJuan, or at least tried to be on him like white on rice. But like I said, it's different strokes for different folks. It's a mentality.
That's DeJuan we talking about.
Yeah,
I got a story the same way. When I first met DeJuan, and I was at DAC, and it was the same thing. We was in the summer. He came down, and they was like, yeah, that's DeJuan, woo. And I was like, oh, so? Cool. Man, that ball got to coming down, man. DeJuan was doing... DeJuan was killing us, and it's making it look so effortlessly, man. When we was done, I was sitting next to him asking a million questions, and the thing that he didn't care. He shared. You know what I'm saying? He was willing to help me grow. He was willing to give me those little nuggets and tell me, hey, stop going fast all the time.
Absolutely.
Control your speed. That's all. I'm not the fastest, but it's so. If I'm being honest, that's the person who taught me to control my speed and to pick my head up and to do things differently because I was all one dimensional when I came from Chicago. Not gonna lie, but after having that summer of having him there to say when you get his angles and just showing me certain things and different things, all those things helped and translated into my game as well. So shout out to Dewan,
You gotta
man.
think about it like this, bro. If you get in a fight, you get in a fight with an individual, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you get your butt kicked, you gonna feel some type of way.
Yeah,
But
for
if that
sure.
same person that came and dogged you out, got in your inbox or seen you later and told you, you know what I'm saying, I did this and that to you, but if you do this or do that, that'll never happen to you again, you gonna listen, right?
Yeah, most times you would
Most
think
times you gonna listen.
you would think
It's
so.
the same thing.
Yeah,
Somebody kill you on that court, and you think you the ish.
yeah,
Somebody kill you, bro, and they come back and talk to you.
Yeah.
You don't listen to them.
yeah. Nah, for sure. Cause I was all ears to
Yeah, you
whatever,
don't listen
to
to
whatever,
him.
to whatever he was talking about.
Cause I remember you, bro. When we was younger, it
I-
was
Look,
everything fast up and
it
down
was
the court.
film, right? So Darrell used to tell me, cause Coach Rob was our coach at the time at DAC, him and Mike Carpenter. But Darrell used to tell me, "Quan, my God, you so fast. Just slow down." I used to be, to me, I'm like, I ain't even going that fast. But he like, nah, slow down and pick your head up. All these different, right? But then when Dewan got there, it was like, it was different because I was able to see it in real time, and then to sit back and just watch the flowetry that, like, just the pace that he played with, it was so smooth, and I was just like, I need to get like that. Like, yeah, it's cool with the cross, but he ain't even doing no special crossovers or nothing. He just pull up. It is so smooth, jab one, you through, and it's like, man, he ain't even doing nothing over the top, but he dog walking me right now. Like, man, it ain't nothing. I'm trying everything. If I rush him, play aggressive defense, like he just staying composed. He not rattled by none of that. And then that's what taught me to play at my own pace and understand that I'm in control. I dictate how this go, and I feel like once I understood that, that's where my basketball IQ and mind really exploded because I started to really figure things out from there. Like, oh, I get it now. You know what I'm saying? Instead of working hard, no, I could pass it to the big and cut off this guy and be wide open instead of trying to dribble through two, or you know what I mean? So from that aspect, he kind of helped open my eyes to the game like that. But speaking in terms of that, and coaching at DAC, and that being my alma mater, um, what's that experience been like? I mean, you coaching a lot of. We know that that's the transfer league, so it's 2 years and we done, so it's quick and it's fast. But kind of what that experience has been like up there with those men.
I enjoy it, because you said at the junior college, you working for young men that's 18 to 22 for the most part, and you got a short time frame with them. Most of the time it's 2 years unless a player gets injured where they can redshirt and get a third year, but still 2 years of playing. Sometimes it's 1 year if a kid meets the NCAA qualifications and is just looking to come play to get a little bit more exposure. It's a year. And it's kind of crazy you ask that because I'm kind of the same level with the college kids and the little kids. Like when I'm teaching skills and drills, like the energy, like the mindset is all the same.
Right.
So obviously I can say more to
So
them.
that's really what I was
More
asking too.
direct to them at the older. So I enjoy that too, and just kind of like I said, being in situations, scenarios where I played, Division 1, Division 2, playing a lot of basketball in different cities, different communities, different tournaments, being grown. Like I can kind of give back little nuggets of the game because a lot of the kids, man, they come from, even though it's junior college, it's different. They come from high schools where they average 20, 25 points a game, where they was the man. So they don't understand the small things, the small jewels and tools that they are being taught until it's sometimes
Too late.
mid-season or
Yep.
sometimes it's the second year. But once they get it, they can get it. Just like this year, man. Like we had most of our team at DAC this year was freshmen. You know, Parkland's finished what, second in the country?
Yeah.
We beat Parkland this year. You know, they had a hell of a year. You know,
Yes, they did.
congratulations to them this year. And representing Region 24 the way that they did in the tournament.
And a lot of people don't know that's the hardest conference in the nation.
It is. It is.
Right.
Like I said, you know, we had 9, 10 freshmen. We beat them one time. We lost second time. We lost to them in the tournament.
Yeah.
But it's just a learning curve, learning experience that, you know, with all those guys coming back and, you know, added a couple new guys to it, like, for the most part, they losing all the guys. Other teams losing guys. We bringing everybody back. Like,
Might
we
be
should
some
be
success.
it. We
Yeah.
should be special.
Yeah.
A lot of the things that we have to teach from day one, most of the
Most
guys should
can
already
teach.
know.
Yeah.
You know, so we should be 5, 6 steps ahead,
Yeah.
quote unquote. So, you know, I enjoy that. I enjoy seeing them, you know, reach their goals. Like I'll be honest with you, it's nothing like seeing a young man reach his potential, seeing him achieve his goal to get a scholarship, to go out in the world, do what they want to do, especially with the world now with the NIL and all the different resources and money and stuff out there. It's not like seeing young men go out and be positive, and young girls too, go out, fulfill their dreams, fulfill their goals, and just be successful and, man, own the world.
That's a fact. So what's next for you, Andres? Like, what can we look forward to coming up?
What's next? Honestly, not really for certain. I got a few ideas, few plans for the community. Actually, working on some things with Seahawks and Hustle Hoops with the non-for-profit sector on that aspect. Don't want to speak too much on it. Don't want to speak too much on other things because I'm a firm believer in
Keep it to yourself
keep
until
it
it's
to
that
yourself.
time.
And
These are
just,
facts.
when it's out, it's out. You know, and just let it boom, let it grow, and let everybody see it then. But like I said, I'm honestly, I'm blessed. You know, I'm from Danville. I'm welcomed here. You know, the same thing in Champaign. I could go to Champaign and, you know, they embrace me and love me there. So I'm just blessed to be able to give back to the young seeds in Central Illinois.
That's a fact. Is this a message that you want to lead to the kids on the way out?
Message, absolutely. Believe in yourself. You wake up every day, brush your teeth, wash your face, take a shower. Every day you look in the mirror. You got to look in the mirror and tell yourself, am I the best that I can be? And whatever you do, am I giving everything that I can give to be successful?